Hello everyone, it's Scott and welcome back to another episode of Feed the Beast Infinity Valve Skyblock Expert Mode. So I'm standing in front of a new contraption over here that I've kind of keyed up to be my Botania Flower petal generator. So what I have is a redstone pulse-based hovering hourglass that is set to about, I think it's about 8 seconds or so. And what it's doing is it's sending a pulse down a series of redstone repeaters. And what this side does is it shifts the grass all the way one block to the left, and then a couple ticks later, this is going to shift that grass back to the right. And when it does that, it disrupts all of the plants that are formed by this autonomous activator, which is placing down with a right-click function a whole bunch of floral fertilizer. So this ME interface is dropping out quite a bit of stuff using a crafting card, and it looks like I have completely tapped out either bone meal or the dye. But you can see how it drops the flowers, which are being absorbed by this transfer node with a whole bunch of world interaction upgrades. And as I demonstrated last episode, the more interaction upgrades that you place in the transfer node extends the range of the vacuum effect. And you can see how they're all getting picked up by the hopper and then placed into this chest, which is then delivering them out to the ME system through this ME interface. And so let me just turn this off to hide it. So since it isn't really a producing or a machine hooked up interface, I don't want to have it too apparent. The living rock and living wood project is working out pretty well. Let me head back up to the ME system so I can demonstrate that. Yep, so I'm up to 109 living wood, 91 living rock. Pretty good for not touching the darn thing. Let's do a quick check of bone meal. I have 2,900 bone meal. Okay, this is the problem. So I'm running out of dandelion yellow. I'm running out of rose red. So all those were auto crafted. I guess I ran through about 1,000 of them and dumped them into the autonomous activator, where they then became flowers. So what I've been doing is generating, you can see I have hundreds, 200 flowers here. And what I was doing over here was grinding them down in the petals. So this chest is hooked up to the ME system through a export bus. And so what I'd like to do is take the remainder of these flowers and make sure that they are all exporting correctly. And what I do is I put in 2 capacity cards, 2 acceleration cards, and then make sure that all these are set up to dump out. So I do have a number that are set up here, so I'm gonna make sure I don't duplicate them too much. Yeah, I think that'll probably be it. Yeah, so this is extracting from the ME system, dumping all the flowers here into the into this chest. Let me dump that out. Make sure. Yep, that's not covered. Is there anybody? Flower. Okay, so probably the pink. Oh yeah, the pink. And yep, the magenta I just tapped in. Okay, so with that, let's add the pink, and this is already full. So what I'm doing is using the transfer node in another function. When you have a transfer node hooked up to a crafting table with world interaction upgrades, this crafting table is able to pull from the inventory that's opposite of the transfer node. So all these flowers are very slowly being ground down into magenta petal, or in the petals, and then absorbed back into the ME interface through this import bus. So what I can do though is dump in speed upgrades, and we can see that then this is rapidly running through the the flowers, and so eventually, well, very quickly, this will convert the entire set down to uh, well, down the petals. So let's make sure there aren't any other functions of flower. Yeah, there's nothing else I need to do other than make glimmering flowers. And yep, glimmering flowers can be used. Well, I don't even know if they are used in any crafting recipes. It doesn't look like it. Okay, so it's probably safe to grind all these down. And if I have any problem, I can always just create more. So yeah, so that's been working out pretty good. All right, so I had to sit down and try to map out what the game plan was for Thaumcraft's magic. So I kind of worked through everything that I'm going to need to get up to the high tiers of Thaumcraft, and this is what it's going to take. So in the beginning, I'm going to need to make my Botania mana pools, which I've already done. The next step is I'm going to have to do some basic Thaumcraft, basically making the starter wands and the starter table and get some research going. And so the very next step after that, once I have the table, is I use that to craft the alchemical furnace, which is going to help me start to automate some of Thaumcraft's essence gathering, as well as it will open up witchery. And so with witchery, I'm going to need to make Mutandis and start gathering up material for the witch's cauldron and the witch's oven. So the oven is what's going to burn down all the whiffs, all the little bottles that are common in witchery, and that's going to lead to the blood magic's blood altar, and that's kind of a big step that's going to open up a lot of the magic realm. And in parallel with that, that's about when I should be able to get the crucible for Thaumcraft. And the next piece after all that is distillery, followed by finally returning to Botania, where I can make the runic altar. So I have to go through almost the entire length of witchery where I can make the gems, and then that will finally open up Thaumcraft's runic matrix, where I can finally start doing advanced infusion. So that's going to be a little while. So I have a lot of prep work to do, and so what I've been doing downstairs is I expanded the the end of flame area quite a bit. So once I started adding more flowers to the mix, I was rapidly exceeding what these mana pools could manage. And so the way that you move, there's two ways to move mana around with Botania. And one is with a mana tablet, of which it's going to be a little while before I can make those, because I need the attuned stone from witchery, which is going to require this whiff of magic, which means I'm going to need to be able to get Rowan from Mutandis. So it's going to be quite a bit. The alternate way is to make a mana pump, and that is a very simple device that's just mana steel and living rock that can be used to move mana out of a mana pool into a special minecart, which is well, the minecart with the mana pool. So I just combine a normal vanilla minecart with the mana pool, and depending upon the direction of the mana pump, blue is always the outbound direction, pink is the destination. And so over here, this set of mana pools are all absorbing mana out of that minecart as it runs past. And so these were just standard booster tracks. Even though these look like vanilla, they're anything but, because the tracks from Minecraft were overridden with Railcraft formulas, which then require this standard rail, which required the rolling machine, as well as the wooden rail bed, which requires these tiles, which requires the forestry carpenter. So I had to move the creosote oil downstairs and burn down a whole bunch of slabs in order to get this. Fortunately, it wasn't too painful because this gives us 32 at a time. Booster track gives us 16 at a time. So I have a little bit left over from this advanced rail here. I have a little bit of stuff left over so I can expand in the future should I need to. But at this point, I can just kind of, tack on additional mana pools as necessary, move these around, maybe expand out this way. So I can store up a lot of mana in preparation for when I finally get a tablet up and running. Yep, and so I'm almost at the point where I'm ready to pause the mana production. Likewise, I went ahead and paused the interface here, so I'm no longer dumping out Botania flowers. So what I was thinking is maybe I could just dump in some bone meal, some regular vanilla bone meal, which will allow the system to start manufacturing flour. So yep, 2,000 pieces of that. So let me grab a bunch, head downstairs, and just take a look at how that will unfold, because I'm gonna need some of the Minecraft grass blocks soon. So let's dump this in and see how that. Let's see, enabled, ignored. Okay, so that's gonna dump out material here. Okay, so that's very wasteful with the yeah, and in fact I think that the that's not preserving the grass, it's only picking up seeds. Okay, and I really don't need that many seeds, so I'm gonna pull these out, kind of pause this. So I'll have to find another way to get my grass pieces. Alright, so there's two things that I want to work on definitely for the rest of this episode. And one is to make my ME system start to work with fluids. And so under the Extra Cells mod pack, there's a number of items here that work with fluids. And so I'm going to try to craft up a couple of them and see if I can access the at least lava and water from within the ME system. Maybe disconnect that fluid transposer that's down by the Botania area. So what I'll need to do is start out by making one of these fluid storage. And so let's just make a quick conversion here and make sure this is using the replaceable Certus Quartz crystals. And so let's grab one of these and craft that up in the ME interface. So with the fluid storage, that should give me the ability to hold at least a small amount. Here, let me throw it in this second. Can I do that? No. Okay, I'm gonna need a. Oh, okay. These are just components. So okay, so I'm gonna have to put these in the in a fluid storage block. So let's make up one of those quickly. So fluid storage is, so the basic one is going to need these Certus Quartz tanks. So let's make a formula for that. As well as the so let's make 10 of those, I guess, get that going. So the fluid storage block will then, well, as soon as that rolls in, let's see, where am I at? So, okay, so it's making the glass and the nether quartz right now. Okay, so I've made one, so at least I can go forward with the fluid storage formula at least. So let's make that. Let's take a fluid storage block and place that in the assembly system. Good. And with that, let's craft up. Oops. Let's wait till this formula rolls in. It's almost done. Actually, fluid storage. You know what? I think I'm going to need to make some more crafting terminals. So let's make another crafting coprocessor, which I can't because all the crafting terminals are busy. Got it. Alright, now that that's done, device online, now we have at least another backup for crafting. So let's get back to this. So the fluid storage block, engage, and then let's grab the next piece, which is I'm thinking if I can get this storage bus, then I'm going to need a sticky piston. So let's make up some of those. And with a storage bus, that should give me the ability to hook that up to one of the ports in my lava tank. I'm thinking that should then allow me to keep all the lava in the lava tank and not have to worry about moving stuff in and out. So let's get that fluid storage block and place that here. Yep, and that should be online. You can see it's green. If it wasn't connected, it'd be red. So, and then the last piece I think is a fluid storage monitor. Can I make one of those? ME level emitter. And then the fluid storage monitor should be a go. Bink. And there we go. Okay, so let's take the storage monitor and some of the Fluix cable and just wire it up right here, I guess. So whoops, that's not going to work. Let's try that again. Swap that around. Device missing channel unlocked. Okay, so it looks like I have too much stuff stacked up right here. I think if I were to connect this, okay, so I think all this is hanging off of the side here. Where can I manage this? Alright, I'm back, and I think I made a mistake with the fluid storage monitor. That's actually just a display, so if I were to put fluid in there, it would show me the level, kind of like an icon. So let me make sure I have enough, yep, jetpack fuel. And so where do I have another space where I can load up and connect to the ME system? Looks like I have a nearby connection point here. I have another port in the back and one off the side. Let me work with this over here and maybe reclaim this lava fabricator thingamabobber. So, sorry pal, see you later. So what I'm going to do is hook the storage bus right here up to the up to that port. So where did I say the nearest? Okay, so this is where I started hooking up the chest behind the assembly table. Let me get that back and start routing this way. Okay. Not so bad. As I stare off into the void. Let's just reclaim these pipes here and throw that down here. And let's move down underneath. Do the final hookups. Try not to fall to my doom. And why can't I connect it? I'm one block off, of course. Alright, so there we go. 1, 2, done. Okay, so at this point, let's see if we get a channel soon. Alright, so I had to go back to the web and look up that the smart cable appears to be the one that I need to use in order to hook up to the fluid storage bus. So let's see if this actually works. Device online. There we go. Okay, so with that, I had to replace the entire run here, going back to the quantum gate here with a more advanced cable than the basic Fluix cable. So with that, I want to see if I can see my lava. So let's try, since I was having the problem with the monitor before, maybe I was just misunderstanding that I also needed to use the smart cable here too. So let's disconnect these pieces and see if I can wire up this run with a smart cable. Let's see, bink. Let's fly up and load this in. There we go, 1, 2, 3. And throw down the storage monitor. There we go, device on. Right click, not doing anything. Okay. What about the terminal? Can I see? Nope. Okay. Fluid terminal. Okay, so there is a fluid terminal here. Let's see if that's what I need to get this to work. So let's throw down, whoops, here. Device missing channel. There we go. Okay. That's strange. Didn't work here, but if I right click with the wrench, then it seems to work. Can I just place it over here where device online, right click. Okay, now it's working. Very strange. Okay, well, here's my lava, and it looks like it can access up to 6,000 buckets. So there's my 6 million millibuckets. And if I were to, I'm curious, if I were to get a regular bucket, because I don't think I've ever used this before. Yep, okay, that's pretty cool. So essentially works the same way as the Essentia terminal did back in Agrarian Skies. Okay, got it. So pretty cool. Let's see what I can do with it. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is also in the Extra Cells mod, and that's to make this ME-Fluid autofiller. So that's going to require a ME-Fluid assembler, which is pretty simply the 1K fluid storage component as well as another molecular assembler. And since I have formulas for both of those, I went ahead and made it. And the autofiller just takes another fluid terminal, and here it is, the autofiller. So I think what I need to do is hook it up somewhere. Let's put it over here next to my machine stack. Okay. And okay, it looks like it takes a bucket maybe, or do I have to? No. Okay, let's take a look over here, and since I have lava in my system, okay, so it looks like it gave me a formula for a lava bucket. Let's try. Okay, so it's going to take a bucket, make a bucket, and done. Okay, so great. So it looks like I can then go into my system and whip up fluid on demand here. So let me see if I can make a tank of some sort, or find a way to hook up a water source to my terminal next. Alright, that should work. So I ended up disconnecting the fluid transposer from the transfer node, shifting things up a level, and then putting in a whole bunch of open blocks tanks for a very cheap water storage system. So that's going to hold 16 buckets worth. And so I've already hooked that up to the system through another fluid storage bus. And so now I can clean up all this stuff, basically return it to my storage system. So I'll find a use for that other fluid transposer soon, I'm sure. Let's just grab that. So that'll give me a little extra room for more mana pools. Looks like this guy's already 1, 2, 3 of them are already full already. So one thing that's been really annoying me now is the lack of a wireless interface. So I think it's about time to craft up one of those. So you can see here, even though I've taken the formula out, here's my water bucket, which is tapping that tank. So let's throw these in and start cleaning out the inventory. So what I like to do is set up the wireless terminal, and so that should be right here, wireless terminal. So I'm going to need to be able to make another dense energy cell as well as this wireless receiver. So the receiver is not that complicated. It is going to require some more fluix, of course, but that's not that big of a deal. Let's whip up another batch of these guys. And so before I move forward, let me, I think the pearls are used for other things. Let's see, what else can I make with these? Quantum link chambers, yes. Spatial, actually it's not used for very much. Identity annihilation plane, not sure what that does, but okay. The Fluix, okay, Fluix pearl. So let's make one of those guys. Let's make or at least try to make the wireless terminal. So dense energy cell means 8 energy cells, which I'm going to have to be careful with the with this formula, thanks to my fluid or my Certus quartz wrench. So I did a little extra research on that. The Certus quartz wrench is, I guess, I don't say bugged, but it's definitely not working correctly. Even though it says it will not be consumed, apparently I'm running an old version of Skyblock where the warning on this item was changed to say that the here, let me just be careful here. Energy cell, I have 3, I need 8, so let's make a couple more. So I'm going to need more Fluix dust. So let's make up another batch of that. Okay. The problem though is that the oh, I'm out. Yeah, so the tooltip here was updated in a later version of Skyblock, so I'm kind of left with that other day where I was feeling like I was not understanding why it wasn't working. Well, here it was a known problem, and I was just not up to date. So let's get back to the wireless device here. Energy cell, done. And then next we're going to need the wireless receiver, done. And wireless terminal, done. So the next thing we're going to need is a security terminal in order to encode and link the wireless device to our system. And looks like I'm missing two components, the 16K and an ME chest. ME chest is missing another ME terminal, so let's whip up one of those. So with that done, I should be able to make the ME chest, and then let's make the 16K device. Done. Bam. So throw that in here, throw the chest on top, and what am I missing? Okay, I don't know. Security terminal, done. So let's take the security terminal and plug it in right here. And what I should be able to do is take my wireless terminal, drop it in here, and it now says linked. So that's pretty cool. Okay, and the last thing we're going to need is this little tiny thing here, the wireless access point. So for this, it's pretty simple. We're just going to need another wireless wireless transceiver, which means we need the pearl. So let's wireless receiver. So let's do the access point once more. Bam, bam, bam. Done. Okay. And while this is going, let's look up the range extender. Well, see if I can find the range under AE2. Okay, let's go back to wireless. And it should be here, right here, wireless booster. That's why I had the name wrong. All right, so Enderpearl powder, a little bit of Fluix, and let's go back over here. Range booster. And make sure I get this formula right. All right, so the Certus. Bam, bam, bam. Done. So let's make a batch of boosters while I'm figuring out where to place this thing. So let's make 30. No. Okay. So I only have 4. Enderpearl powders. Did I ever make a formula for that? I don't think so. Well, guess what? Enderpearl powders are going to get a formula now. So one of these and one of these. Done, done. Over to the pulverizer. Done. So let's make up 30 of these because that seems to be a good limit, I guess, on range without driving the power demands off the scale. So let's grab those out now that that's done and figure out where we are going to put all this stuff. So wireless access point. Let's throw it underneath here. And where should we attach it? I have plenty of channels available here, though. Likewise here, 26 out of 30. Let's put it right here on this smart cable, and it should link up shortly. Okay, wireless access point. And then let's right click on that. And so right now, it can only have a range of 16 blocks. If I start adding cards, this is going to increase exponentially, but you see that the power demands are also going up. So I want to make sure that I have at least access everywhere on my base. And so if I throw in the full 30, I now have a 180 meter range but I'm also drawing in a tremendous amount of power, which looks like it's not even affecting my diamond pipe. So yeah, so that'll be pretty cool. Let me just look at the... Yep, that's holding steady with the capacitor bank. And so what I'm going to need to do is charge this device. Yep, so throwing it into the capacitor bank, looks like that charged up pretty easily. So with that, I should be able to right-click and pretty much from anywhere on the base now, access my full inventory. So awesome. So with that, I think I'm going to call this an episode. A lot of good crafting in a short amount of time, and so it's really showing that I'm going to need to get my butt going on the rest of Magic. So I'm going to take a look at what it's going to take to get going on the next step, and yeah, I'll see you soon. So if you could, please leave a comment or a like. Let me know how I'm doing, and I will see you next time in Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved Skyblock Expert Mode. Bye!